This podcast is brought to you by Meteorate.
Welcome to the Two Cripples, One Pair of Legs podcast, where every fortnight, your hosts, Adam Shepherd and Natasha Price, take a long, hard look at the world through the eyes of two people who believe in grabbing life by the balls and squeezing tighter than Borat in a mankini. The good, the bad, the often cringeworthy, but most importantly, the hilarity that can, and often does, ensue. If you're looking for fluffy sunshine and rainbows, My Little Pony meets Care Bears type of purity, you've probably come to the wrong place. If you're after good conversation, warped humour, quick wit, a touch of sarcasm, two proud people with disabilities with the no holes barred, leave no stump unturned outlook on life, welcome home.
Hi there.
Hello.
How you doing?
I'm well, and you?
Yes, I'm good.
Ooh.
We always start off by saying, hey, how you going? But we kind of really know that already.
Yeah, well, we spend all day, every day together.
An extortionate
I know,
amount
but
of time.
we say this everywhere, and we still do it.
And we still do it.
Yeah, and we always bugger on about, and yes, I'm sitting here rubbing my stumps.
Stop. Even Brett brought it up today, how you sit there playing with your stumps, you fucking weirdo.
It came up in my memories today. It started, 12 months yesterday, I had my second surgery and I got rid of leg number 2.
You did? You got fully legless instead
Legness.
of legless.
Yes.
Legless sounds like I'm legless. You got fully legless instead of partially legless.
Yes, I did. So that happened, and so today I've got a photo of me come up on Facebook as a memory, me in my chair, and I've got the drain still in my leg, and I'm sitting there like getting all creepy on like a slow-mo of me rubbing
your
I'll post
stumps.
it because it's funny as hell.
It's
but
creepy.
well, you'll either find it creepy or funny, one of the two. But yeah.
little from column A, little from column B.
Little from column A, little from column B. Yeah, it's.
Stop doing that with your stumps though, because I cannot concentrate when you're doing that.
You know how I love to creep you out.
Oh yeah, you do a good job of it.
That's what I do best.
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
It's what you do best with everyone. So, tell me a little bit. What have you been up to this week?
Same as you.
Well, okay, tell the audience then.
Oh, okay. Hey, so I have. Okay, I'm going to start with the negative stuff. I have a bone to pick with you.
Oh God,
You
what have I done?
On the way here.
Uh,
Okay. On the way here, we're pulling out of the car park where we had lunch, and you're like, "Oh, you're going the wrong way."
well,
I'm
you
like,
were
I'm
out of
like-
a car park that we go out of about 6 million
like, you know what?
times.
You know what? Fuck it. You can drive from now on. And you're like, yeah.
Yes, I'd like to drive. Be fun.
There's two problems with that. One, you're fucking blind.
Yes, I mean that is a slight issue.
You are blind,
Yeah.
and you don't have a license anymore.
Well, I've not had it revoked. I just haven't reapplied to have it renewed after it.
So it's non-existent, is basically.
Well, I mean, technically speaking.
So, yes, it's non-existent because can you just imagine, you've been in this country, 16 years?
Yes.
Yeah. So cruising down the highway and, you get pulled over by the police because, you're swerving in out of lanes because you don't know where the fuck you're going.
Well, I know where I'm going. I just can't see where the fuck I'm
you
going to.
You do know where you're going. You just, you don't, not so worried about the cars.
Hang on. Let me just point out here how I'm the one who can't see, yet I knew that you were going out of the car park the wrong way.
Yes.
Yes. So then let's let that sink in a little bit for the audience.
I just can't. I keep going back to the fact that you're getting up me about how I'm driving and whatnot, and you can't fucking drive.
Well, I can.
You rely on me to drive you places.
I do, but I can drive. I just can't see to drive.
No, but we've been through this before. If you go back on over a few episodes, you will know nobody wants you to drive.
I want me to drive. It'd be fun.
No.
No.
No. Maybe that's better.
No. Maybe we should go to a car park and you can let me try drive in your car.
No, not my car.
Like an
no.
empty car park.
No.
A real empty car park.
Real empty car park.
Like a real empty car park. Like no cars.
Yeah, at like 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That's how I learnt to drive, right?
Yeah, I know. I remember my first ever driving lesson. My mum took me out in her car and we went to a car park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was, Dad used to take me to the Dreamworld car park.
Doesn't everybody learn
And,
to
like-
drive in the Dream World car park? My sister did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was either Dreamworld. No, I was going to say Movie World or Dreamworld. It was a Dreamworld car park.
Mm-hmm.
And for the period, most of the period of time, we'd had like monsoonal weather. So it was pissing down rain most of the time. So subsequently, I'm actually a really good driver. My God, what?
Just stop fiddling. No, I'm just like, it's on camera.
I'm currently looking for a new co-host. If anyone's interested.
Well, you're just being very hyperactive today, and I am being kind to the audience and to my ability to think through this show.
Not being kind to the audience.
I'm trying to get myself through this show without being too distracted.
Oh my God! Can I have my pen back, please?
Well,
Or my stylus or whatever
do
it
you
is.
promise not to play with it?
Yes.
Okay, good
Yeah.
job.
You know what the other cool thing we did this week was?
Hang on. How did we go from us talking about driving lessons into a cool thing we did this week? I don't know. But carry on.
I
don't know. Hang on. What were you saying? We're all over the shop today.
The other cool thing we did this week.
Yes. Oh, I know what you're going to say now.
We went to the football.
We went
But
what did we go to?
We went to the Titans and the Cowboys game at
And it's
Seabus.
It's not football. It's rugby.
Oh, whatever.
Like football, you kick a ball.
We live in Australia. Get over it.
It's rugby. Rugby.
Okay, rugby league, whatever. So we went to the Titans and Cowboys game,
we did.
which I was absolutely losing my shit over because I'll be honest, I'm a born and bred Gold Coaster, but the Cowboys are my team.
Yeah.
They
So
are.
and Titans are a Gold Coast team, just so everybody knows.
Yeah. I do love the Titans, and in just about any other, if they were playing any other team, I'd be backing the Titans for sure. But they're playing my Cowboys. So
Your Cowboys, hey?
my Cowboys, yeah. Yeah.
Is there something you're not telling us about here?
No,
Az?
I'm invested,
Yes.
not financially.
No.
Ain't nobody got time for that shit or money for that matter. But
Okay, but so what you're saying is basically you support the Cowboys because you're a Glory supporter?
no, have you seen how the Cowboys are doing? I'd hardly call it glory supporting.
Yeah, but you've been supporting them for a while.
I have. I've been supporting the Cowboys for a long time, to the extent I would say even mostly before the Titans even were around.
Yeah.
It's been a long, long time. I started following the Cowboys, one, because they're a Queensland team anyway, so I'm like, I'm still supporting a Queensland team.
Mm-hmm.
But we had, quite a few years ago now, we had some big cyclones up in North Queensland, and the Cowboys got really involved in the rebuild and the working within the community to rebuild the community and stuff like that. And I guess it just really resonated with me in what they were doing and how they were doing it, and the community mindedness that they were showing. And I thought, you know what, you guys are cool. I'm going to support you. So
Good job. And they are a Queensland team.
yeah, well, and they're a Queensland team. You know what I should have done is I should have just worn my Queensland State of Origin shirt.
Yes, because then you would have been supporting all Queensland teams.
All the Queensland teams, so it wouldn't have mattered. So
Yes.
it was the Queensland Derby because it was two Queensland teams. But we got to hang out with our good friends at Body Science.
Yeah, so they invited us along to sit in the corporate box with them, which was a really cool experience.
Yeah.
I mean, not only was the company fantastic because the guys at BSC and the team there are bloody awesome.
They are good people.
So check out their products if you're into supplements for training,
Definitely.
and especially if you're an elite athlete, because their products are HASTA certified, which means there ain't no problem with taking them. But anyway, yes, and I digress. We got to hang out in the corporate box with them, have a nice meal, have a few drinks.
It was seriously cool.
It was a really, really fun game, and even better because Cowboys lost and Titans won.
I can't believe, like,
I'm a Titans supporter, so
I am happy that the Titans won.
And they deserve to win.
Yeah.
So
And considering I was in a Titans sponsorship BSC sponsor the Titans,
Yes.
and I was wearing my cow. So I was feeling a little out of place. I'm not going to lie.
Well, you will decide to rock the boat, won't you, Adam?
Well, they let me in, so
They did.
which was really
the
good
the
of them.
funniest part about it is the BSC corporate box is right next to the owners of the Titans corporate box.
Yeah. And I was on the end of the box when we were outside of the stadium, and there was a lady sitting literally on the other side of the guardrail of me, and she kind of kept looking at me going, "Hey, your game wearing that."
And also on the way in, all the players, the Titans players, were going into their changing rooms, like literally walking past you and being like, huh, dude.
Hey, yeah. But you know what I noticed when you listen to the cheering, I don't know if it was just because they were louder or not, but there was a lot of support there for the Cowboys.
There was, which I think because they're both Queensland teams.
Yeah,
yeah, and there is a lot of support for Cowboys on the coast here, I think.
Yeah, there is.
And what I do enjoy about Australia and the way we do things over here is there isn't the same level of one side is at one part of the stadium, another side is on the other part of the stadium, and there's no interaction because everybody's going to kill each other, which is generally what you get in English football.
Yes.
I'm sure in other sports as well. But yes, I think it's a really nice experience that people can interact without killing each other just because they support different sides.
Valentine Holmes, mate, if you are watching, what the hell? Valentine Holmes. He's a Cowboys player.
Yes, he's the guy that got sin binned.
He got sin binned. Second game in a row.
Okay.
I don't know if it was for the same thing or not. But
yeah, I'm guessing if there's anyone from the US watching, they have no idea what we're talking about right now because I don't. Rugby league, especially, is not a thing in the US.
We're not talking about the Dallas Cowboys. We're talking about the North Queensland Cowboys.
Yeah.
Yes.
Slightly different.
Yeah, cool. What else have we been up to this week?
It's been a really busy week. We've had we did the Women in Sport breakfast.
That was cool.
And also the launch event for that, which was it's the Women in Sport International Conference here on the Gold Coast, which was just truly amazing. Got
some great people at that.
Yes, there was. Got to meet some Olympians and Paralympians and some just wonderful individuals doing incredible things.
Yeah,
and
Gian Rooney was there. We didn't get to chat to Gian, but
No.
she's great human.
Yes, and Jessica Smith, is it Smith?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Paralympian swimmer. She's fantastic, got a fantastic story and started up a business in Dubai now dealing with inclusion, which sounds bloody fantastic.
Yeah, and in Dubai too.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
How incredible. Yeah.
So there's lots of people there with amazing stories and it's wonderful as a woman to be in Australia right now with the Women in Sport conference, with the Women's World Cup, which is also happening at the moment. And oh my God, I got to go and watch England kick ass a couple of weeks ago, and we're going again to see England play on Monday.
Yeah, we don't know who they're playing yet.
England, Nigeria.
Oh, it'd be Nigeria.
Yeah,
okay, cool. Yeah, sweet.
After their 6-0 thrashing of China last night, I reckon it's going to be an interesting, fun game.
Oh, I can't wait because we watched the Aussie girls play Canada.
Yes.
Man, that was a fun game.
That was a great game. It was very edge of your seat.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that. And being the daughter of a pro football player, pro soccer player.
Hello, Christopher.
I'm very invested in football.
Yeah.
It's been my life. It's been my entire life. It's all I've ever known. So to have the opportunity to watch my home country play twice in a World Cup in my now hometown. You know, Brisbane is only 40 minutes from my house. It's just I just feel so blessed. I'm so lucky. Like I can't believe my luck. And we've had crowds of 45,000 plus for these games, which I know in Sydney they had 75,000 for a women's sport game.
That's awesome.
How amazing is that? And I think in this country we are very forward thinking when it comes to female sports. I think a lot of places still have a lot of catching up to do, and we still have a long way to go. We do.
Oh yeah, 100%. We do. Yeah.
But there's so much support for sport in general in Australia, and certainly the women's female side of things are really catching up now, which is which is incredible.
It's good to see we're finally doing it well. I mean, to be honest, in most other states in Australia, they've done it well for a long time. Queensland, for whatever reason, we seem to have just be catching up a little bit. But
isn't that just the way with everything in Queensland? We tend to be just a little bit behind the eight ball.
Are we getting too much sun? Or
yeah, probably. We're just look. People in Queensland are just very cruisy, very relaxed. I think that's what it is. You know, we're not Sydney, we're not Melbourne. We're not the big states, but we're getting there. We're catching up.
We were having this conversation with Brett McCallum, who runs this studio and is Media 8. And also has the Awesome Humans podcast. Check it out. It's really, really cool. We were on that as well. And
2 episodes.
Yeah, 2 episodes of that. Yeah. We were like the first time somebody got asked back
twice. I know. Yeah. Poor bugger. I don't know what he was thinking.
Yeah, I don't know. You're not wrong. But we were saying that with him because, Queensland and particularly the Gold Coast, over the years, we just haven't had the best track record of looking after our teams and supporting our teams and stuff. And because of that, the teams don't get the support and then they don't last.
Yeah, exactly.
We've had so many football teams and basketball teams and it's nice to have a team to get behind, that's for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Even if I don't wear their jersey. Sorry.
I did. I wore the Titans jersey, just so you were aware. Because I'm awesome.
It's a cool jersey.
It is a really cool jersey. Yeah. I kind of love it. Jersey for people overseas, that's shirt.
Shirt. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we call them jerseys apparently.
Which I don't get myself, but there you go.
Yeah. I might have to get myself a Titans one.
Oh, you do realise for the footy match on Monday, you're going to have to wear an England shirt, right?
Oh.
Yes. You are going with a POM. You are going with somebody from England. Originally, I'm now a posse, both the POM and Aussie. I couldn't get that out then. That wouldn't come out of my mouth. And you just sat there staring at me, waiting for me to fail.
Much. Yeah, pretty much.
You're how much can she fuck this up?
I'm saying this in the safety of this studio with just you and me in it. I think I'm gonna back Nigeria.
Sacrilege! No.
No?
No.
Oh my God. No.
That sounded very Aussie.
No, I'm not. I'm not. Your dad's sitting here watching this going, the fuck you are.
The fuck you're ever coming to my house again if you do that, boy.
he's poor guy. He's most pissed off that we're going.
I know, because I had the foresight to work out that England would probably end up playing in this match. So we should book tickets for this one because we wanted to take your 6-year-old to a World Cup game.
And he didn't.
So he's missed out.
Well, I just said to him, we can find another cripple for him to go with. And then
he'll have a wheelchairing companion seat. Apparently, I think they're sold out now as well, though.
Oh, okay.
Poor bugger.
Oh, well, we got tickets. So
yeah, we did. Sorry, Dad.
I'll live stream it on Facebook so he can watch it.
Oh, you can't do that though. You're not allowed to. FIFA take the videos down as soon as they go up. If you live anything that's close to live gets taken down, and you get a copyright.
But if you don't tag them,
no, they're getting it.
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
I don't know how they're doing it, but they're getting
Sneaky bastards.
Yeah, it was all over the news. It's interesting. Anyway, do you know what? We have spent like the first 20 minutes of the show or something talking.
We really have, so we should probably move on.
Can I just say, for those of you that are watching right now and listening, you might have figured by now we don't have a guest today, so you're just going to end up with us talking shit for the whole time.
It's what we do best. I'm going to write this time down. 18. I'm going to go 18:30. Because for young Ruby, because we keep forgetting to write down the times when she goes
so
to
when it comes to her doing the editing, the poor bugger has to deal with us being a bit shit and listen to the whole show every time.
Yeah, poor bugger.
It's a bit time consuming.
I've just written that down for her. So and bang on. So
good job.
Cool. All right, I'm going to hit the button.
Do it.
Like 2 cripples using a beach towel to skydive, this could go anywhere. Welcome to the Soapbox Session. I could listen to my voice all day.
I may have to remove myself from the room because we're not going to quite get your head in as well as my body.
Yeah, it's like Johnny Bravo's head.
Yes.
Yeah.
You've got Johnny Bravo's chin, so
I'd be one of those
his
bobbleheads on
jawline.
the bobbleheads on the dashboard. That'd be cool. A cripple bobblehead.
Hey, why don't anyone make inclusive novelty toys?
I know. Hey, I'm already got a big head, so it could just be my normal head size.
Exactly, just on a body.
Yeah, yeah.
I
Well,
know.
it's kind of what it is.
Exactly.
I-
I'm gonna nickname you BH, and everyone's gonna be like, what?
BH.
Yeah, bobblehead.
Just yeah. Okay, cool. But I really am. I'm a bit of a bobblehead.
It's better than me nicknaming you BJ, really, isn't it?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Just saying.
Yeah, fair enough. You make a good point.
I
Right.
do. I always
Bobblehead.
do.
Yeah.
Bobblehead. All right. Okay. What more?
Instead of Subway, I like
So, no, I like footlong.
footlong.
Footlong. Footlong. That sounds really bad.
Yep.
I like footlong.
Wow.
Subway sandwich.
Yeah, let's go with Subway sandwich. Footlong, just Jesus.
Oh, okay. All right. So
Yeah. So soapbox today. We were up at the airport.
I've got the giggles now.
Can't take her anywhere.
I
Swear to
know.
God.
I know.
We were up at the airport. Or when we flew out of Coolangatta at Cairns, didn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. And we were at the airport, and we noticed up on this screen, and it was a name that we'd never heard of before. And we're reasonably well travelled, and we know Australia pretty well. And
Mm-hmm.
there was a name up there that neither of us recognised, and we're both like, "Where the fuck is that? Like, is it some kind of like island in the middle of nowhere or something?" And it turns out, unbeknownst to us and unbeknownst to just about
everyone.
to everyone, that the powers that be had decided to rename Brisbane Airport or Brisbane to its original Aboriginal name, which don't.
Hey, that rhymes. So you're a poet and you didn't know it.
I am a poet and I didn't know it. Yeah.
Anyway, carry on.
Trust me, ask my year 12 English teacher. I'm definitely
no poet.
I am not a poet. No.
I don't carry on.
But yeah, they've decided to rename it the original or the Aboriginal name for Brisbane or for Brisbane Airport.
Yes.
There's one problem with that. They didn't fucking tell anyone.
So it's been renamed to, is it like Meanjin or something?
Meanjin or something like that.
Something along those
They
lines.
didn't tell anyone.
So, okay.
Which is
Brisbane. Okay, Brisbane Airport. For those of you that don't know, Brisbane is our third city.
Yeah.
It's our third city, third or fourth city.
Oh no, you learn that stuff when you come here, right?
Yeah, so like Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. Or I think Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane. So, it's a pretty major airport.
Yeah.
It's not a small place.
No, it's definitely not.
So you got a lot of people traveling to and from Brisbane, traveling internationally, and a domestic terminal there. Of people flying in going, where the fuck am I going to? My point is I don't have a problem with them using the Aboriginal names. At the end of the day, I don't think in this country we give anywhere near enough
I agree.
recognition to the people that were here before the Europeans settled in Australia.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think they are absolutely welcome to call their land whatever they
Damn
want
straight,
to.
absolutely.
That's their choice too. And I think I've heard a lot of people say things like, "Oh well, it's Brisbane. It's always been called Brisbane." But
no, it hasn't.
It hasn't. It had a place name before
we arrived, before a European settlement. It was named what they named it.
Yes, yeah,
because they are the original
the original owners
of this land that we're on.
Yeah.
So
I'm cool with that, but at the same time, I do think that in order for recognition, and just because Brisbane has always been Brisbane in our eyes as white people, it's just it's always been called that. I think that they need to let people know that they're going to be changing the name, but B, also have a transition period so that people can get used to
it. Because it was honestly, like, we're on social media a lot, and we're watching TV and listening to the radio, and I've literally heard nothing about it.
No, I mean, I have heard it on the news, but it was literally on the day. There was a Sky News report, I believe, that it actually... And they were complaining about the fact that nobody knew that this change was happening. So
can you imagine, leaving Auckland and the pilot coming on, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to your flight to Mianjin, and you're like,
what the fuck? Where am I going?
I'm supposed to be going to Brisbane and not being aware of you're 30,000 feet in the air, and the pilot's like, oh, you're going to Mianjin. I was like, what the fuck is that?
It's crazy. I think it doesn't come as a surprise to me because there's been lots of place names that have been changed recently.
We've changed
Fraser Island.
from Fraser to now Gari, which is its indigenous name, which I'm totally on board with. I think Fraser. I know a lot of places do. Fraser holds a lot of significance for the indigenous population,
and I definitely think it's something that needs to happen to places of significance like that. It needs to be honoured in that way. And I also actually think it's very, very good from a marketing perspective, from a tourism perspective, because overseas, as a POM, we look at all these.
You're not, are you?
Yeah, I know, right?
Oh my God.
Posy. as a POM, we were always very intrigued with indigenous culture and Aboriginal culture, and I think it's a shame that we don't tap into that enough in this country. And I think that by using those names, especially in a tourist destination like Fraser Island or Gari, you're actually helping people from overseas identify with that place and want to visit it more. So
I agree.
I personally kind of like it.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, I just think if you look at how other countries do it, like let's take our Kiwi neighbours for example. They learn Maori, like they learn the Maori language. They learn, and a lot of their places are Maori names and stuff like that. And we've come along. We've changed everything. It all,
I think when different but kind of the same. When you go to the UK in Wales, once you get into Wales, everything is in both Spanish. Spanish. Why would it be in Spanish?
I have no idea. Pretty sure Wales.
When you go to Wales, everything is in both Welsh and English.
Yeah.
Until you go to North Wales, and then everything is just in Welsh. But you've got to have that. I guess grounding with your own culture and your own language, and if the language of an area is different to the language being spoken, then you have to try and find a way to reconnect with that.
Absolutely. I think absolutely. I think it's something we don't do well here. And I think about Fletcher, who is 6, and they've got NAIDOC week coming up at school.
And what's NAIDOC week?
So NAIDOC is about NAIDOC is all about learning about indigenous cultures and things like that. So I don't know.
NAIDOC, it's like it's like their national.
Yeah,
I can't. I did read about this somewhere, but anyway, I feel
ashamed. ashamed to say
I was just going to say
I'm ashamed that I don't actually know.
But I think that's living proof in itself, though.
100%
how we certainly in the past haven't done enough to know about our indigenous cultures.
I agree.
Yeah,
it's something we need to do better, and I hope for Fletcher's generation and for generations further. For his kids and his kids' kids and his kids' kids.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I hope it's better for them and they get to have a better understanding than you and I sitting here fumbling over what NAIDOC means. Cool. Yes.
It's like National Aboriginal and Indigenous.
Yeah.
Something. Anyway.
Yeah, because it was like Aboriginal Indigenous is the same basically. So. Yeah. So anyway, cool.
Anywho. Anyway, yes. So how are we ending that? Are we that guys? Please think about what how you're going to make these transitions, because people still need to know. But at the same time, it's really cool that you're making the effort to make those changes.
Absolutely, and I think as a society, we just need to be more like when Gari, the thing that. And I'm going to say it horrified me. It really did. the amount of people that is that my no, I thought my phone was on silent and
Yeah.
it's just vibrated. There
Good
you go.
job.
Well, it didn't vibrate; it made a sound because we heard it. But yeah, the thing that, and like I say, I'm going to say horrified me is when they announced that it was being changed from Fraser Island to Gari. The amount of backlash that copped, I'm like,
Yeah, it
are
was a
you
lot of-
serious?
was a lot
Like,
of backlash.
that just
I think people are safe and secure in their own history and their own own views of that stuff, and everybody's entitled to that. I get it's uncomfortable, and you're like, oh well, I wasn't part of the problem, so why should I have to embrace this change?
Yeah.
But I think it's right to embrace history and to embrace change if it's positive action that positively impacts people.
Yeah.
And yes, it might feel different, but sometimes there's nothing wrong with a bit of difference if it's a good thing. Yeah. It's try to see the positives in these situations. You're not wanting to change a name is very different to the people who want the change for very genuine reasons.
Yeah. I agree. Shall we move on?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's go to moron of the day.
Oh, okay. Oh, we're talking about you now, are we?
Hey, that's a bit rough. I'm gonna write that time down.
If you can find the button.
It's the moron of the day. Yeah, okay, so maybe...
So you have now officially become the moron of the day because as you press the button, button, you just knocked yourself out on the fucking microphone.
Yeah.
Shit, that's funny.
Jesus. Well, I didn't knock myself out. My head...
But no, seriously, talk about irony.
Yes. Well, I didn't knock myself out. My headphones got caught on the little bit on here anyway. So,
so you knocked your headphones off.
I'm right.
What do you write on now?
Day.
Oh, good job.
Just writing these down because I'm gonna. Okay, so let's start off more on the day. I'm shit.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm shit.
No arguments here. No, I'm joking. You're not shit.
We appreciate you, Ruby. We appreciate you because I'm shit. So I'm supposed to, for editing purposes, write down when we change and
stuff and write down any mistakes that we want
and
edited
so
out.
edit out and when we change from
sometimes we do remember to write the stuff down but never actually give them to
exactly.
Ruby.
So poor Ruby has to sit there through an hour and a half of us just absolutely talking out our asses.
Yes.
And
every week to do the editing on the show.
Yeah. So
only to find there's more stuff that we haven't told her, like last week, not letting her know that we were only doing 2 segments.
That we didn't do all the segments.
So she didn't have to listen through every segment looking for all 4 of them.
Oh my God.
Whoops.
Yeah, you'd think by now we'd be better at this, but it turns out we're not.
All right.
Well,
just
I'm not.
bear with me a second because I've got to take this jumper off. How about you talk shit for a second then? Because my God, I'm burning up.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
Okay. Just a moment, please. Carry on talking.
Oh, okay. Oh, I will. Yeah. So, now I have this. Hey, I got this cooler thing. It's not an iPad. It's like, let me remember, old enough to remember an Etch-a-Sketch. It's like an Etch-a-Sketch thing that you can write on, and it's like a slate, and you can clear it and stuff like that. And you can send it to your phone, or there's an app that connects to it, so it's pretty cool. So I'm using that
You're
now.
really clutching at straws to find something to talk about on your own, aren't you?
Yes, I am. It's not. Maybe we edit that. No, don't.
No, don't. It's all good. Yes, but we both got one. It's very, very cool.
That's very
Very
cool.
cool. Anyway,
Moron of the
Moron
day
is not actually officially you, but I'm wondering whether we should just keep it as that. No, I'm joking. Carry on.
Let's roll. Well, moron of the day was you wanted to talk about was the toilet situation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, look, this is an important one to talk about, I think. So I don't actually know whether I've ended up talking about this on a previous episode. Episode?
On a previous epidemic.
Yeah, on a previous episode of the show or not, but would have been June sometime. There's a cycle track that you and I use to train at, that I train at every single day.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And there's a toilet block there, and the toilet block had been closed for maintenance work.
Yes.
And it was closed for a considerable amount of time, a couple of
Yeah.
weeks at least. And there were disabled facilities there, as well as 4 or 5 standard toilets
Mhm.
and an ambulant one. Okay. And they had closed down the toilet block, but also put like
Four or five.
an entire row of portable portaloos outside, portable toilets outside the front
Yep.
of the toilet block. I cannot concentrate with you rubbing your bits, Adam. Oh God!
Rubbing my bits.
This show's just taken
Oh my
a
God!
complete another.
I just found my drink. Carry on. I've just found my drink.
Oh, it's behind you.
Yeah. I was trying to find it. I'm sitting there. I'm like, I'm going to steal yours in a minute.
Getting thirsty.
Yeah. Carry on
Okay.
as you are.
Anyway, they've put a row of 4 or 5 portable toilets out the front. However, they are all standard size portaloos.
Yeah.
They are not there's not a single accessible one there. So there are many, many, many disabled athletes that train, and wheelchair users that train at that track.
There is.
And apart from that, it's a very popular area with tourist people coming to visit the area. So they hadn't thought about adding a disabled toilet option,
Yes.
which drives me crazy. If you're going to take away
Mm-hmm.
something that is accessible,
Yes.
and even if it's a temporary solution, you need to make sure that you also offer
An alternative.
alternative.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Because nobody wants to do an HOE, really.
Yes. Well, I mean, you can't in a wheelchair. You cannot do a nature
Well, you
wee.
can. It'd be messy, though.
Well, you're going to be sat in your own piss for... Well, it's true though.
This is true.
There's
yeah.
there's no nice way of putting it. It's not like you can crouch and bloody
Yeah, exactly.
hover or anything. Yeah, you got to sit in your own.
Well,
pee.
I probably could. I got no knees.
Yes, I know, but you also can't stand on your stumps.
Yeah, this is true. It's a bit of a problem, really.
Yeah, it is.
I'm going to have to work on that.
Anyway, so
Mm.
I want to call out the moron that made the decision to not put a disabled toilet option in when they thought about every other motherfucker that was going to
Yes.
be using the area. Like, seriously, people, is it that hard this day and age in 2023 to not think about, to think about people with disabilities?
Yeah.
To think about every single person that is going to be using that area.
Yeah, I agree.
And not just wheelchair users, but you've got parents with prams. There's a lot of parents that take their kids out in pushchairs and prams, and that can't leave a pushchair and pram outside when they've got other kids or whatever with them. They need to take them into the toilet area, which you can't do in a tiny little portaloo. So there's so many reasons why you should have an accessible toilet option.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
If you are taking one bit of accessibility away, you need to make sure that you replace it with equal, even if that's just a temporary thing.
And because it's kind of like where the track is, it's where the cycle track is, it's kind of in the middle away from everything.
Yeah, so it's not like you can easily get to another option.
No.
And we spend so much time getting in and out the car, going places, looking for accessible bathrooms, and like for that to happen, it's so frustrating. I want to also talk about that. I'm sure it's the same moron that put the signage telling you that that the toilet block was closed up, about probably 6 foot high on the door.
Yeah.
On this tiny little signage.
It
that
might
was
have
like,
just been a very tall person.
well, either way, you're not really thinking about all the normal size people that can't see.
Normal
But
size.
No, I'm not talking. I don't mean wheelchair users. We're tiny, but I mean just normal 5'5" whoever can't really see that high up. But people with visual impairment that have absolutely no idea when you've got a piece of signage that has 2 centimeter high writing on it. It's not useful to anyone.
It's really
it
not.
really isn't. Anyway. People that make decisions like that, they're morons.
Do you feel better now that we've...
No.
Mm?
I feel like I've spoken about that on my own, and I'm worried that nobody's going to agree with me. Help.
No, I totally do. I was letting you air your grievances because as a married man and somebody also who hangs out with you for a long period of time, I've found that just letting you do your thing and sitting in my corner and shutting the hell up is works.
Good job.
It works well.
Good job.
Boom.
Boom.
Yeah, absolutely. But Yeah, no, look, I totally agree.
But yeah, but seriously, what moron made that decision? They're like, yeah, I'm going to close all the toilets down, but I'm not going to give you guys an option. I'm going to give it to everybody else.
Yeah.
And that's my issue. Like, I wouldn't have a problem with it if they'd not put any options in for anyone.
Yeah.
But it's that clear, thoughtless shittery.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Do you like it? Shittery.
Shittery. I like that. Shittery.
Yeah, that not thinking.
We're going back to that the dictionary, the new words in the dictionary.
Yes, but I think that would be a good addition.
Yeah, I do too. I mean, we talked about some of the really average ones that were there. So shittery, I think, would be.
I think shittery is great. It's a bit like fuckery.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of funny words and stuff that I don't know if you've noticed this, right? But have you ever noticed when you're particularly when you're writing something to me, or and then you'll say you are ducking mad. Yes, and I'm not ducking mad, I'm fucking mad.
Yes, no such word as ducking.
Exactly.
Well, there is because you're ducking, but
you're ducking.
You're ducking under something. But no, yes. Okay, I'm gonna stop. My brain's not functioning very well. You carry on.
How are your sugars? Are you?
No, I think I'm okay. I'm alive.
Please stop dying on me in the middle of a podcast, for God's sake. You're 11.5. You're fine.
I'm good. I'm just, my brain's not working.
You're alive, well, and you're feeling not crashed
Not
up.
great. Feeling like shit, but hey, who's counting?
But yeah, so the powers that be at Apple, I was going to say Google. It's not Google, it's Apple. Sorry. Have come up with the idea that if you want to drop the F-bomb, you should in fact be able to do it with Siri, and Siri not intervene or
not
autocorrect it.
Yes, because until now it's always been ducking. So,
yes.
But which is fantastic. I'm pleased about that, because as people may have realised, I am a person that quite likes to use the fuck word.
The fuck word? You mean as in fuck?
Yes, exactly.
Oh my God.
Well, I did that on purpose, but
Oh God!
I forgot what I was saying.
Yeah,
now.
you do. But
Yeah. Oh yes. So I'm glad that they've done that.
Yep.
However, I don't know, but I've noticed no difference.
I haven't noticed it changed, and I've just done an update on mine today, to iOS like 16.6 or whatever the hell it is now. I don't know, but so we'll leave this space open, and I'll find out. I'll test it out later, and we'll see.
Okay. Well, neither of I was going to say you have access to your phone, but
I do. But I'm
test drive.
Okay.
Do it. I reckon you try and send me a message like "fuck you" or something.
All right, I'm doing it right now.
Okay, so my phone is actually recording the live right now. So guys on the live, it'd be really interesting to see if you suddenly get a message come up on the screen going "fuck you." Wouldn't that be fun?
It's sent and it didn't autocorrect.
Oh,
but maybe that's because I've used it so many times it stopped trying to change.
No, but it didn't do that, did it? It's just come up on my watch.
Oh.
Although I can't see my watch, I do know what the message says. It's an emphatic "fuck you."
What I love is that, have you ever noticed when you're writing something, like if you say duck,
Yes,
it'll come up with a little emoji of a duck.
Yes.
On your phone.
Yeah.
So whenever I've gone we're running late for something, and I'll reply, I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah.
And then it'll, instead of saying, it'll just come up with a picture of a duck. I'm like, but you get what I'm trying to say.
Yes. Although I would laugh even more nowadays if, now that you're allowed to write the word fuck, it actually came up with like a picture of an eggplant or something. That would be funny.
Oh my God.
Actually, talking about corrections that the phone makes, what did we discover the other day? That when I'm writing a message to you and I say ads or Adam, it automatically on my phone, where it does the predicted words, the predicted words that it puts with the word Adam is "for fuck's sake." Which is just hilarious.
Is it trying to tell you something?
Yeah, I reckon it is.
Alrighty. So yeah.
All right.
Cool.
What? Come on, move on. Oh, he's writing things down again.
I'm being studious. I'm being a good person. We are at 43:50.
Good job.
And we are going to. What are we going to? We're going
I don't know. What are we going to? You decide.
Social media takedown.
Woohoo. Oh,
Alright.
I started singing Morn of the Day in my head then, which is just weird, but there you go.
Social media takedown.
Good job. Proud of you.
Have you been hacked on Facebook?
No. Oh, not on
As of
Facebook.
yet?
No. I've been hacked once on I think it was TikTok when I very first got TikTok.
Yeah, okay.
Someone took over my account.
Yeah.
But nobody's ever managed to get past my very weird passwords on Facebook and Insta. Why'd you ask?
Well, so a mutual friend of ours a few weeks ago
Yes.
got hacked.
Yes.
And I'm going to go as far as to say the person that did this hacking is a royal prick.
I'd say a CUNT.
Absolutely. Let's go with see you next Tuesday.
Yeah, because if what this person did is just so far beyond
abhorrent.
It just that somebody could get away with doing that makes me feel sick.
So
it's just disgusting.
So this friend of ours has been I've known him for many years, and he's got a daughter who is on the autism spectrum.
And he's a person with a disability himself.
He's a person with a disability himself, and his daughter is non-verbal, and I was just cruising Facebook a few weeks ago, and there was a message on his account saying, "Hi, this is," and his daughter's name. I came to see Dad this morning and found him in bed and couldn't wake him up. He passed away overnight. Rest in peace, Dad.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh my God, that poor child found her father.
Yeah.
You know, how awful is that?
And of course, everyone on his Facebook friends list saw the message.
Yeah.
We were all kind of, oh my God, this is awful news. Everybody very, very shocked. There was the occasional one or two people going, something doesn't quite ring
Something
true
doesn't
here.
quite, yeah.
But at the same time, everyone was like, oh well, if we say nothing, then you can't not say nothing when there's a message like that appeared.
Yeah.
But there was, all of us were kind of like, it seems strange because the message was that had been posted just didn't quite make sense with what we know about his daughter's situation.
Yeah, 100%. But we were all was like, oh my God. Anyways, a little while later, he got on and he's like, hey everyone, I was hacked.
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Somebody hacked and tried to convince everybody that I was dead.
And this is what. So they've used, whether they know the family situation and know about his.
They somehow knew a lot about his situation to make people be like, oh shit, this could be true, because they knew that his daughter doesn't live with him, and a few other things that were like, oh okay.
Well,
shit.
they knew his daughter's name as well.
Yes, yeah.
Because
that's easy to find out on Facebook, but there were a few little details there that were quite convincing.
Yeah.
Certainly to people that don't know his situation very well as well, but. What kind of awful fucking human does that?
People are scumbags.
What would make you hack into somebody's social media account and then tell everyone that they're dead?
Only what are you achieving by doing that? Like, yeah, you scare the shit out of some people for a little while.
But also, what if his parents had seen that? Maybe he's got like elderly sick parents or something, and they'd be like, that, like, for us as friends, that's shit to read. But imagine his family seeing that. What despicable human being thinks that's okay?
And to pretend to be his daughter.
I know.
It's just abhorrent.
It is.
Behavior.
It's mind blowing that there's actually people in the world that think that's okay, and that they would come back and go, I just thought it was a joke. But how? Why? How? In what possible way that that kind of shit causes mental scarring?
Yeah.
It's fucking disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely.
I can't get my head around it. I can't. Why would you do that?
I can't believe the the lengths some of these people are going to.
Yeah.
Like you say, like I don't know what the purpose of it was.
No,
like,
I know, it makes no
short
sense.
of like it wasn't set out to get money out of people, or it was just it was a shock and awe thing, I guess.
Yeah, it was, and it's really sad the way social media is breeding this kind of behavior. I know a few people this has happened to, and it's similar kind of things where they the hackers have led people to believe they're dead. And why? What are you possibly achieving?
Yep.
I don't. What is this? What is social media bringing this world to that people think that kind of shit's funny?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess lesson in that is two-factor authentication on your Facebook. If you do it, I haven't set it up yet, but maybe that's what I need. Maybe I shouldn't be saying that. But
Yeah, good job.
but yeah, maybe we just have to get better at security and.
Yeah, I don't know. And see, the thing is, though, it doesn't matter how good you are at security. The hackers are going to get in anyway. But
when they don't physically need a device, when they don't need your device, I can grab your phone right now, log in, and get onto your phone and post Tash as a dickhead on your Facebook or something like that, which I do. But when they can do it remotely, and it's just insane.
It's crazy.
And pretend to be
Social media might be a great thing sometimes, but there's things like this just make me question bloody humanity, humankind.
Really
it's very sad.
They really do.
Anyway,
all right, shall we move on to something a bit nicer?
Oh, come on then. Nice is good.
Nice is good. All right, I'm going to write down this time again. So we're going to KV. And it's going to be at 50 minutes 50.
I love the way you're telling everyone the times like we're not going to edit it this bit out.
I'm one of these people that has to talk like
yes, you do.
Yeah. I was, remember at school, I don't know if you guys ever had quiet reading time at school where you'd all sit at your desk and read books and stuff at school?
Yes.
I could never read.
Oh, see, I would have wanted to kill you because you were the person reading every single word out loud, weren't you?
Yes.
Oh, man, that would.
Miss, Adam's not reading in his head.
Yeah. Miss, shut Adam up.
You've seen, if you knew what was going on inside my head, there was not enough fucking room. Not that I'm saying I'm smart. It's just there wasn't any more room. There's all the other shit going through my head.
Yeah, because you were too busy looking left, right, and centre at everything else going on around you. Because that's what you do to actually focus on the words.
I'm observant. What's wrong with that?
Observant.
What?
Distracted.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, maybe distracted. Maybe distracted. All right, moving right along.
The kindness virus.
The kindness virus.
That was a weird, creepy, porno-sounding kindness virus.
The kindness virus. Oh my god.
That just sounded like some kind of drag queen. But there you go.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I don't know. It's like you're all, I say this it's all sunshine and rainbows.
It is.
And there's
the kindness virus.
The kindness virus.
You sound like you've been smoking about 20 cigarettes a day.
Yep. So for this episode of the kindness virus, I was going.
Oh, we're doing an entire episode about it.
For this
segment?
episode.
I'm joking. I like giving you a hard time.
I'm just going to sit here and
if
shut
you
up.
don't know this by now, then you're slower than I thought. No. I'm joking. You know that's a joke.
I said before about looking for a new co-host. Apply. Apply now. Send me. I'm not fussy. I'll take anyone.
I'm sorry.
No, you're not.
No, I'm not.
So,
you haven't heard the hard time he gives me behind closed doors. I'm just braver to say it
I'm
out
just trying to
loud.
fucking catch up.
Sorry, carry on.
Oh my god. So kindness virus for this episode. So we went to and I know where this is going to go because, every time I bring it up, it goes in the same direction. But I took Fletcher, or my dad and I took Fletcher to a fishing expo last weekend in a place called Fernvale, which is sort of like west Brisbane, sort of.
So it's in the kind of middle of nowhere.
Yeah, it's middle of nowhere. Yeah, it's out past Logan, and if you know the area, it's sort of west. Yeah. And we went to this fishing expo, and
it's very much inland.
Yeah,
so there's a fishing expo really inland.
Yeah, well, their thing is dam fishing. It's not.
Oh, because it's up by Wivenhoe.
Yeah. It's dam fishing. Yeah. It's not. A lot of it's freshwater, not salt.
Okay.
But and Fletch was absolutely frothing at the mouth to go to this thing. Like, he was just.
Have you ever heard of more Aussie saying than that, guys?
Frothing
at the mouth.
He was just
I love
keen as mustard. There you go. He was keen. He was just so excited.
6-year-old boy that is incredibly excited about all things fishing.
Oh, the kid is addicted.
Obsessed.
The kid is addicted, and it's awesome. Let's face it. There's worse things he could be spending his time doing and spending his money on, and so he gets pocket money. We recycle cans and bottles at our house, and then we take him to the recycle center, and he gets as his pocket money. He gets the money we get from that. So I said to him, "We'll go. You buy what you want, but it's coming out of that money." And he's like, "Yeah, cool." So we did that, and anyway, he had the best day. Like, expect a fishing expo. It's adults, and they're talking about fishing and lures and all that sort of stuff. But he was just so well included in it. It was just so cool to see. Like, it had a real kid-orientated feeling about it. It was about getting kids into fishing, and I heard the term less Xboxes, more tackle boxes.
Okay, that's interesting.
So,
and you're okay with them saying that in front of children?
Tackle box.
I know.
Do you know what a tackle box is?
I know it's where you keep your tackle.
Oh, this is never going to end well, was it?
Sorry, carry on.
And it was all about getting kids outdoors and getting kids fishing, and less time on gaming consoles and stuff, which I was just all about. And the whole time we were there, like, everywhere we went, they were, Fletcher was getting given key rings of little lures and stickers and stuff to keep him engaged. And he was like, they were talking to him about lures and, what they were for and what fish they were for and all this sort of stuff. And right towards the end, they had this thing that was like this massive fish tank. It was like 20-meter long fish tank on the back of a truck. And the guy's doing demonstrations.
Where are they going to put all the fish to kill them?
No, they're not. They're his pets. They don't kill them.
So he takes his pet fish to a show about killing fish.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's like the stuff of nightmares. Anyway, carry on.
So there's this like big fish tank on the back of a semi-trailer truck thing, and they used it to show lures and how lures work in the water and soft plastics work in the water.
Oh, what's a lure? Just
lures. It's like a fake bait. It's not real. It looks like a fish and swims like a fish in the water, but is either plastic or wood or metal or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's a lure, fishing lure. Yeah, I should educate you on these things.
Yeah.
You should come fishing with me one day, and I'll educate you.
Do you really want to go there?
Push you in the water. And anyway, so the guy that was doing this demonstrations, and he was demonstrating how lures worked in the water and what worked for what, and he asked for one of a kid to come up and have a flick, and they weren't catching the fish in the tank, but the fish were following these lures and soft plastics up. And Fletch and he's like, yeah. So Fletch got to go up and cast a fishing rod and was watching these big barramundi follow this lure up, and he just thought it was absolute. And he got because he did that. The guy was doing giveaways, and he got a free rod and new fishing rod and reel.
Oh, and that would have made his day.
Hugely.
Didn't you get a rod as well?
I did. I asked a question.
Oh,
Like, excuse me,
go
sir.
you.
I asked a question and he handed me. I don't know if he felt sorry for me because I'm a
Because
cripple.
you're a
but
cripple, probably.
That's probably what it was.
The
But
man's got no legs, so
I
he
mean,
could
it was a-
definitely do with a new rod.
it was a good question. I mean, the guy that was. I see what
Sorry,
you did. there.
yeah.
Oh my god, I was trying to get past that, and I couldn't do it. But the guy next to me asked a better question, and he got a hat.
Ah,
He got
so you got the better prize. There's some ableism for
I
you.
got a freaking fishing rod. Yeah,
It works in your favour, hey?
yeah. I don't mind the ableism when it works in my favour. And I'm good with it.
So what you're saying is it was a great event and everybody treated Fletcher really well.
He was just
and-
well included.
Yeah.
And it was just it put a big smile as a dad. It put a big smile on my face because he was happy and he wasn't spending his money on stupid shit and
Yeah, because all the money that the 6-year-old has.
Yeah. Well, he's got more bloody money
Yeah,
than I do most
me
of the
too,
time.
me too.
Yeah, absolutely. Probably because I spend it all on him.
Exactly.
But yeah, you keep your money, mate. I'll pay for this. Start paying it. You ever heard a 6-year-old kid being charged board? Maybe
Yeah, board, I reckon. A bit for food and
stuff.
Yeah, I reckon. Good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you enjoyed it then. It was good.
It was great. He crashed out hard. I'm actually going to post it. I'll put a photo on.
Oh, that poor child! And you pulling the face out in the front of him.
I'm going to post it to the social media page because.
Do you know that we say this every week? We're going to post things and we never ever do.
Yeah, I know.
I think with Ruby, if you can write that time down, we can get her to include the photograph on the edited version of this because I think it'll be a good one to add in.
1 hour 20.
Because it is a super cute photograph of Fletcher being dead to the world
In the back of the seat. So it's like an hour and a half from our place there and hour and a half back. And on the way back, you could just tell, like, you can always tell when the kid's getting tired towards the end of the day and, like, the mood changes. He got in the car and he's like
dead to the world.
Yeah. But Fletcher does this thing and I love that boy. I would lay down my life for that kid. But when he sleeps with his eyes open just a little bit.
He looks dead.
It's creepy as fuck.
Yes, he looks like.
Oh my!
He's the living dead. He's yes, it's definitely interesting.
I love him dearly, but my God, it's creepy. Like he's just sitting there, and it's like he's glaring at you, but he's not. He's unconscious.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So anyway, kindness virus goes out to all the wonderful people at the expo who treated Fletch so were there any other children there?
Yeah, there was actually heaps. There was
okay.
Yeah, there was heaps of kids. There was a lot of kids getting around with like their fishing shirts on, and it was very country, which was really cool. Like there's a lot of little cowboys there and cowgirls there, and it was really really cool. But no, it was really really kid orientated, and I think that's what. If I haven't sort of said that and portrayed that enough, I think that's what was really special about it. It was all about getting kids involved and into fishing and stuff like that. And I know you think fishing's all about killing animals and and all that, and you and I could sit here and talk about that for ages, but they talk a lot about sustainable fishing and doing the right thing by the waterways and protecting the environment and all that sort of stuff too, which
is good.
If you've got a kid who's as obsessed with fishing as what Fletcher is, having him learn those other things along the way.
We went to Currumbin Wildlife Sanctuary not that long ago, and Fletch saw a display that was a beach display showing a turtle being wrapped up and fish and turtles being wrapped up in fishing nets.
Yeah.
And he got really upset
by
that.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh, I don't want to fish anymore. If people are using nets and it's killing turtles and killing wildlife, I don't want to fish anymore."
Yeah.
And that kind of I was so impressed by his reaction to it, but I was also really sad for him because he's so passionate about fishing. I was like, "Well, no, you just make sure that you don't use those things and you always take your nets away with you because you don't want to be the cause of that." So it was a really good learning opportunity for him. So I think it's really, really important that they're teaching these practices to
100%,
children very, very young, so that we can keep our waterways alive. alive and so that we can keep animals alive. Because, I find that stuff really upsetting. But that's me.
There was a part of this presentation that we watched. They were talking about specific nets that you use when you're bringing in a fish that make sure that the natural slime that the fish has and the protectants and the scales and his fins all stay intact. And,
okay, awesome.
So it was not only kids, it was teaching, old farts like me and my
Good
man who's even more of an old fart than I am.
Even older and even fartier, apparently.
If you ask my 6-year-old, yeah, absolutely. It was so there was a really, really heavy presence of talking about, that sort of stuff as well and protecting. So,
good. See, that makes me happy.
Good. I'm glad.
That makes me happy.
I'm glad. I knew you'd come around eventually.
Well, I'm not saying I'm coming around to the whole fishing thing, but I am saying that if you're doing things to look after the animals, then that makes me happier.
Yeah.
And I'm not like a crazed bloody, militant person when it comes to animal rights and everything, but I do think that we should be doing what we can to protect the seaways and
I absolutely agree.
And I was about to say the people using it, but no, I mean the fish using it.
The fish using it, absolutely. It's their homes and
exactly.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah. It goes to, we talk about, sharks and shark nets and I mean let's get into that.
I think we should get into that another time because I'm about as anti-shark net as you can get and they're fucking useless and pointless anyway. But anyway, hey, is that us?
I think we're done.
I reckon we're going to have to be done. We've got to go get the boy from school.
We do, yeah. Thanks for listening. If you like what you heard, if you want to drop a comment below and tell us what you think. If you have a discussion topic for us that you think we should be bringing up. And
also, if you have any ideas of some guests that you might like us to interview, we have lots of our own ideas, but there might be someone out there that you have a suggestion that we should interview sometime.
Absolutely.
And we're willing to accept suggestions at any time, so please let us know.
Yep.
We will catch you next time, and we will have a guest.
Where do people find us if they want to?
They need to go to 2 Cripples 1 Pair of Legs podcast on Facebook, 2crips.1 Pair of Legs on Instagram. You can also find us at the invincible.co website.
Awesome.
Yes.
We're out.
All right.
Have
you
a
next
great
time.
week.
See ya.
Peace.
Well, that's a wrap for this week's episode of 2 Cripples 1 Pair of Legs. As always, we'd like to thank our studio guests for joining us and, of course, to the legends at Podfire for making all of this come to life. If you like what you've heard, or even if we've offended the shit out of you, but you still want to hear more, make sure you hit the subscribe button and also check out our Insta page, 2crips.1 Pair of Legs, and you'll be the first to know when a new episode drops.